Hi, I'm Stephen Hann from Archery Supplies. I'm here today to do a review on the Predator longbow. This is called the Lobo, and I just want to do a quick bit about it. But before I do that, I want to just take a quick back over Predator. Now, Predator have been around for, I'm going to say, forever. So when I was 20, Predator existed, and that's 25 years ago. So 25 years at least. I know they've been around longer, but the guys who own it, one's Ron Peasley and the other is Mike Hoadley, personal friends of mine, and that's not why I pushed this product. We're friends because we date back in this archery business such a long time. So when I first started selling archery gear, I used to do with Mike, and I used to sell these bows. Now I've been selling these bows for over 25 years, and not one of these bows has ever come back. I think the quality of them is absolutely outstanding. I get a lot of people who are collectors of longbows and traditional bows, and people collect these bows because they're high quality. The awards these Mike and Ron get for their bows is well known by a lot of traditional people. So for me, I don't know about the awards. What I do know about is how this bow shoots and how it feels to shoot, and the quality of the product. So first off, with traditional bows, I do get a fair bit of warranty. A lot of it will be through people stringing it the wrong way around their legs, leaving bows in hot cars, just not looking after their gear, and it's also to do with the quality of the fiberglass. So to start off with, the fiberglass on these bows, the cheaper Chinese will be a cheaper fiberglass. This is American fiberglass, and like I said, I've been selling these bows forever, and I've never had a warranty return. I know people have owned these bows for over 20 years, and yes, you can get a Chinese bow and that can last you 20 years, no question. But the rate of return with a Chinese product, and there's been brands I've sold before which have been up to 50% of the bows come back to me. And for me as a business owner, it's just not affordable to have a bow that's going to come back all the time, where I'm going to have to post it out, give them a new product at my cost. So the Predator I really love, but what makes this bow unique besides the finish, and I'll just go through this finish. Now they come in various options. They do clear on the outside of the limb, and then it's black on the back, and they do this with their recurves as well, and Predator is mainly known for their recurves, but their longbows to me are absolutely outstanding. What makes their recurves really good is the shape, and what makes their longbow really good is also the shape. Now the Lobo comes in a 62 and a 64 inch. Someone wrote to me the other day and said, can I have this custom made in a 58? The answer is no. It only comes in 62 and 64s. Now I'm generally stock 64s. I'm just looking down to see if this is a 64, and it is. So there's a serial number down the bottom here. So it says Lobo 46 pounds at 28, AMO 64, and the serial number. And this will be on all the Predator bows. The serial number, it tells Mike when it was made, and who it was sold to. So this is the darker wood. It also comes in the lighter wood, which is the brown wood. Now the limbs are different on this one. You can see the outside. I'm just going to pull up both so you can see the difference in them. Like, it's equally pretty. Like, it's a really pretty product. But what makes this bow so good is the shape. It's a reflex-deflex design, which means basically it's very much like a recurve as far as the shape. So a recurve comes back around like this. That's what this does. And in fact, when I used to sell these bows, people said to me, you can't shoot these in tournaments because they're not flat. Now the advantage of having this curve is it creates more tension on the string, so it shoots faster, but it's also smoother to draw. So the grip is more, because it's got this kind of indent here, it's more comfortable than a flat grip that you get on a standard longbow. So it's basically smoother to shoot, faster to shoot, but as a result, you know, I got told you couldn't shoot this. So we looked up the feeder rules. on longbows, and what it says is the string, when strung, cannot touch the inside of the limb here. So by all means, if you're shooting IFAA, which is another association, there's quite a few associations. Look up the rules, because if someone tells you something, they may not know it. Look them up. It's easy to look up what's the definition of a longbow, because this is well worth shooting. Now the price on this bow is really, really expensive, and when I say really, really expensive, it's about $1,000. But when I say it's expensive, there's a lot of work which goes into these. It's handmade in a factory. These are sanded and machined by hand, and people are sitting there sanding it to make it look pretty. So there's lots and lots. If ever you've made a longbow, and I have, there are a massive number of hours in these things. So when I say it's expensive, it is expensive compared to the Chinese longbow, which is $300 odd, but the quality of the product is far, far superior. And to me, I appreciate this. This is a bow that you buy and you keep it forever. Now, I normally compare other products, so I'm going to this time. This is the Martin Savannah. I think this is an equally pretty product. Nice zebra wood, and it's a pretty bow to shoot. It's got a nice shape to it. And I think the Savannah, it's a similar price. I like the Predators. I'm not going to ditch the Martin. There's a whole bunch of longbows on the market. I just think this is a superior product, and they are very, very similar, but I really, really like the Predator as a longbow, just because I know I've had no issues with it. I know everyone I've sold, people have been happy with. People ask for them, and they're always like a little bit different. So I'm going to string this, and we're going to shoot it. And the reason I'm going to string it is because a lot of people will try and string it through their legs. I'm going to say 80 to 90% of my warranties are through people stringing them through their legs. And I did a video which basically said this is what the crack looks like if you string it through your legs. So then people, when they string it through their legs and they get the crack, they then crack it back so it doesn't look like that crack. And that's with recurves. So please don't do it. Don't string bows through your legs. Use a bow stringer and you won't have a problem. When I was 15, 16, I broke a recurve through my legs. I've never strung a bow since through my legs. So this is a bow stringer. They cost about $10. This is the Infotect bow stringer, so a little rubber end and a little plastic thing. The Lobo comes with the little felt pad here. It comes with a Flemish twist string, which is there's no serving around the ends here. It's just twisted by hand, and Predator make these strings. So you put the little cap on the end, and you can use whichever string you want. I mean, neat make, a really nice longbow stringer. I like this because it's cheap and I'm a bit of a tight ass, so it goes on like so. And the other end goes over like that, and it fits on like that. Now I'm going to use my hand. Whoops. I'll just show it sliding over. So now I'm going to go back and I'll point it down so you can see how I string a bow. Unfortunately, if you've seen this before. So we stand on the string. Don't use your back, bend the knees. So 2 feet. Put this little black thing up as close as possible to the string. And then just pull up. And that goes on just like that. And then let it down slowly. Now when you're letting these things down, just pull it back up. Stringing to me is the most important thing with this bow, because if you string it wrong, you're going to break it, and it's such a simple thing to do. So do it correctly. When you look at the string, check it from the back. That's just a elastic band we've put on there. Check it from the back to make sure these grooves are in. We put the rubber band on there because this was on display to actually hold the string in place. So check to see if it's on the back. Don't check it from the front, because if it's not and you look on the front, it can hit you in the face. I don't want anyone losing an eye. Take the bottom one off. Little rubber thing. Check it from behind. So check it from behind to make sure it's still on. You can see that's perfect. Nicely in the grooves. Now you see with this here, these strings are starting to dry. Now people will say to me, I deal with lots of customers. They say to me, oh, my strings only lasted so many shots. It's a warranty thing. Strings are not warranty. No company covers strings for warranty. You've got to wax them, you've got to keep them wet. So this string should be waxed and it should be wet. So a string looking, this is a brand new bow. This is a string, you can see here is, I'm hoping that thing, it's dry. Because it's been on the shelf and it's just got dry. And the problem with Flemish twist is there's no serving, so the ends here will wear. They look prettier, and they look much prettier than a normal string, but they do wear on the limb tips. Flemish twist string from Predator I think is about $25, $22. So to me it's not a big cost. A normal Dacron string you're looking at $12 from Cartel or Win Win. But to me this looks nicer, and you know, if you're going to spend $1,000 on a bow, why not spend $20 on a string? They come with the string. So we're going to have a few shots with this bow, and I'll just move this over here. Actually, I'll go full hog. We'll put the back quiver on. Now I like shooting longbow. I don't shoot it very well. So first off with the draw cycle, this is a 46 pound longbow, and for me this is the kind of poundage I would shoot for field archery, where I'm shooting 1 or 2 arrows per target. Because for me it's going to work. I'm going to work my body. So I draw back on an angle. I'm pulling. Now I'm getting to my draw length, and it's not stacking. So when I say stacking, the poundage is solid at the start and it continues solid all the way through. With the cheaper longbows, they'll start off pretty light and they'll build up in the last couple of inches. It's not the case with this bow. It's solid the entire way through. So even here, I can feel it building up here. You can see if I hold it there, it's putting pressure on my body and I'm shaking. So even at that distance, I'm probably holding, I don't know, 25, 30 pounds. By the time I get back here at 28 inches, I'm going to be holding 46. So basically it's not stacking up. The first few inches are building up weight. So this bow is going to shoot quite fast. And in fact, when we've compared the Predators to other longbows, they tend to shoot pretty quick. So the grip is comfortable, so I'm going to take the shot. So I just draw it back kind of to the corner of my mouth. There's no twang when you shoot the bow. I don't know if these marks are through me shooting recurve before, because I was shooting target recurve before without an arm guard. It doesn't feel like it's hitting my arm. It feels nice to shoot. The shot's clean. There's no vibration, no sound. There's no string silencers on this bow. I have the sound on the microphone cranked up to full. So now that little twang that thing at the end, that's the string vibrating. If you want to get rid of that, silencers, we'll get rid of that. But this is my favorite longbow. I do like the Savannah. I think the Savannah looks awesome as my sort of second bow. And would I like to have a Savannah? Yes, I would. But I really like this bow. Mike, a couple of things about the owners of this company. Ron, who's the designer of these bows, he's an engineer who basically loved making bows. So he quit his family's business, sold it, I think when his dad died, I'm going to get this story wrong, and started building bows. And he said to me, my dad would have been really disappointed that I sold the family business off and decided to make bows, but he said, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make really nice traditional bows, and this is what they do. And Mike's also got a degree. He's about my age. And this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to make bows. So you've got two guys who are extremely smart, intelligent guys who are completely dedicated to what they do, which is make quality bows. And they've pretty much made them the same for the last 25 years. They've changed some things, like they've got now carbon limb options on their recurve, they've got foam limb options, they've got a machined metal riser on their recurve options. But this, and the Lobo's only new. It's been out for probably, I'm going to say 10 years, 8 years new. But it's a nice, it's really a nice bow to shoot. If you're going to come up again, if you're going to shoot longbow and you're going to shoot it competitive, and you're going to come up against a guy who's got a flat longbow, you're going to have an advantage with this bow. So I like it. Check it out, have a shot with it. I think it's beautiful. The quality workmanship is just lovely. And yeah, I think they're great. Even the price tag, you know, it's $1,000, but there is a lot of work in it, and they literally last forever. So that's the Predator Lobo Longbow. They also make a Phoenix, which is a 68-inch, I think 68-inch longbow, more traditional, so flatter. But the Lobo is my favorite, and I will do a review on the Phoenix a little bit later, and the recurves from Predator. But Lobo is like one of my favorite bows. It shoots very, very similar to the Predator recurve, which I'll just grab. That's the Predator recurve there. The shape is awesome. It's got so much reflex. The Lobo shoots very, very similar to it. I mean, it's obviously not as quick because it's not a, you know, it hasn't got this huge reflex on it, but it's not far off. And the grip is really comfortable to shoot. Most longbows, when you shoot them, they vibrate out of your hand. This is pretty stable. Like, I didn't grip it, and it just sort of kind of sat there. Really comfortable bow to shoot. And you know, the recurve from Predator is just an awesome bit of machinery. I own 2 or 3 of these. And I love them. I know plenty of people who own 2 or 3 of them. And I'll do a review on these too. But the Lobo from Predator, just an awesome bit of gear. Take a look and look at their website. I'm Stephen Hann from Archery Supplies. Check them out. Enjoy your archery. Thank you. Bye.